How's it going, guys? It's Red, and in this video I'm going to be showing you guys a super powerful high difficulty sniper rifle setup that you guys can be using right now in Back 4 Blood. But before we get into that, if you're new here to the channel, make sure to leave a like on this video and subscribe for more awesome Back 4 Blood content just like this. Also, make sure to check out the link to my Discord server. It's going to be down in the description below. You guys can use it to find teammates to play Back 4 Blood with, so if you guys are in some dire need of teammates, make sure to come check out the Discord server. And without further ado, I hope you guys enjoy the video. Alright, so here we are in the deck building menu in Back 4 Blood. This is going to be the complete deck list, so if you guys are just looking to copy and paste the deck, now is your time to do so. But for the remainder of this video, I'm just going to be talking about why every card is where it is and just what role every card plays in the deck and just everything like that. Now, the goal for this deck is actually relatively simple because sniper rifles are good at one thing, and that is making one bullet do a lot of damage, and we are going to use that to put ourselves on special infected control while the rest of the team basically deals with like the commons and like the weaker special infected. We are going to be looking out for things like exploders, tall boys, any of those other special infected that have really big exposed weak spots that we can easily just 1 or 2 tap and just keep them away from our team, while our team uses what they have to keep like the common and, you know, the hawkers and stalkers away from us. Now, with the way that this build is set up, you are going to want to be exclusively using your secondary weapon until you see a special infected, and then you can pull out your sniper rifle, hurry up and kill him in 1 to 2 shots, and then switch back to your secondary. That way you can actually help your team in terms of like clearing commons and stuff like that. And we actually have a lot of weapon swap speed cards and a lot of other things that are going to make, you know, switching between our pistol and sniper really not that bad. Now, in the number 1 spot, we have Line 'em Up, which gives us plus 10% effective bullet range, 15% recoil control, and 25% bullet penetration and aim speed. Now, the main things that we are looking for, you know, in the sniper build specifically are aim speed and reload speed. Those are basically like the 2 big ones, and along with weak spot damage. And this card gives us aim speed, and it also gives us bullet penetration, which is actually kind of important because very similar to what I was saying in my shotgun video that I uploaded not too long ago, if you don't have any bullet penetration, the commons are just going to stonewall everything you shoot at them, and it's going to be really hard for you to accrue any value out of your primary weapons if you don't have any bullet penetration. And the same is for sniper rifles. If you don't have any bullet penetration, you're just going to be going 1 for 1 with the Ridden, and obviously when there's 50 of them and there's 1 of you, that's obviously not a very good rate, and we need to fix that. And this card also gives us effective bullet range, which is going to let us 1-tap all those pesky special infected just a little bit farther, which is obviously pretty nice, and we also get recoil control as well. Now, in the number 2 spot, we have Hyper Focused, which is going to give us plus 50% weak spot damage and minus 40% move speed while shooting or melee attacking. Now, the reason that this card is all the way up in the number 2 spot is because this card essentially allows us to just 1-tap every special infected that we hit as long as we hit them in the weak spot. And that's basically the only reason we play this card, and that's a good enough reason to have it all the way up in the number 2 spot. This is just such a huge damage buff just so early on for, you know, not that big of a downside in this deck. Like, yeah, it would be more of a problem if we were using something like ARs or SMGs, something where like this move speed downside would be like absolutely horrible, but it's really not that bad in this deck. Now, number 3 is going to be Controlled Movement, which gives us plus 40% move speed while aiming down sights with sniper rifles. Now, the reason that we have this is simply just to cancel out the downside of Hyper Focused. Like, I'm aware that it's not the same thing. I'm aware that, you know, move speed while we're shooting and, you know, ADS speed isn't exactly the same thing, but it does a good enough impression to make this card playable in my personal opinion. If you guys don't feel like that this is a good enough, you know, card to cancel out the downside of this, feel free to play something else if you want to, but this is just my personal preference. Now, at number 4, we have Cold Brew Coffee, which is going to give us plus 15% reload speed and 25% aim speed, weapon swap speed, and use speed. Now, this card is an absolute all-star in this deck because it gives us reload speed, which neither pistols or, you know, sniper rifles really have that great of a reload speed to begin with. It gives us aim speed, which is one of the categories that I was talking about in the beginning of the video that, you know, we're going to want to focus on. And it also gives us weapon swap speed, which is really important because, like I was saying earlier in the video, we are going to be switching between our pistol and our sniper rifle a lot in this build. So doing that at just normal base speed, it's really not going to be good enough, and you need cards like like cold brew coffee that are just going to throw things like weapon swap speed on for really no downside. And use speed is never bad because ever since Tunnels of Terror came out, use speed just became astronomically better, and any card that has use speed on it is basically playable now. Number 5 is going to be Padded Suit, which gives us plus 10% damage resistance and plus 5 health, but is going to take away 20% of our stamina efficiency as the downside. Now, the reason that this card is in the deck is because I do feel like we need a little more protection than the average deck because, like I was saying earlier, I mean, we're primarily going to be on Special Infected Patrol, and we're not too particularly great at dealing with big hordes of common. So if we happen to get snatched by a Stalker or, you know, get caught up in a group of common, like, we need something to buffer our life total because we just don't have enough kill power to, you know, kill the things before they hit us. If we had something like an SMG or an AR in our back pocket instead, that would be an entirely different story. But since most likely we're just going to have a semi-automatic pistol or like a melee weapon of some sort, we need something like Padded Suit. And I do feel like this is just the best option right now because, like, I don't know, all the other options like Amped Up, they just don't seem as good anymore, like ever since this card got nerfed. Like ever since Amped Up got nerfed, I do think that Padded Suit is just like the de facto life buffer card, at least that I like to go to. Now, number 6 is going to be Front Sight Focus, which gives us plus 20% accuracy, 10% weak spot damage, and 15% aim speed. The card's just an absolute all-star in this deck. It's going to give us aim speed and weak spot damage, which is 2 of the 3 categories that I said we need to really hyper-focus on to make this deck as good as humanly possible. And this card also gives us 20% accuracy on top of that. I mean, I would have played this card without the 20% accuracy, and just the fact that we get it on top, it's just too much value to overlook in my opinion. Number 7 is going to be Ammo Belt, which gives us plus 50% ammo capacity and plus 15% reload speed. Now, the main reason that we're playing Ammo Belt is because of the 15% reload speed and the fact that, I mean, we're playing sniper rifles. We're not really going to be that ammo hungry of a deck, but we do still need to take into consideration our secondary weapons, especially if we get something like a Tech 9 or like a fully auto Glock. I mean, we might actually just end up blowing through a lot of pistol ammo. So with that being said, I do think that some ammo capacity is needed, and I do feel like Ammo Belt really is just the perfect card because it also gives us reload speed. I feel like other cards like Ammo Mule, I mean, it's just too much, and Ammo Pouch just kind of sucks because, I mean, this 2.5% bullet damage, what's that doing? You know what I mean? That's not doing anything. At number 8, I have Grenade Pouch, which is going to give us plus 1 offensive inventory and plus 25% swap speed. Now, I'm not going to lie, the entire reason I played this card is because recently it did just get the swap speed edition, and I do feel like just having an extra frag grenade on us is actually a really important asset to have because, like I was saying earlier, we don't really have the kill power that, like, you know, a lot of the full auto decks do. So, unfortunately, a lot of the times what we have to do to get, you know, a group of common away from us is chuck a frag at our feet, and just having access to a second one is just so much immensely better than being limited to 1 because, I mean, it really makes it feel bad when you do eventually use it when you only have 1. And this card also gives us swap speed on top of that, so it's going to help that pistol sniper switch just go even smoother. Now, number 9 and 10 are both going to kind of serve the same purpose, number 9 being Reckless Strategy, which is going to give us plus 30% weak spot damage and minus 5% damage resistance as the downside, and number 10 being High Vis Sights, which is going to give us plus 30% aim speed. Both of these are just really huge buffers on the categories that I said we really need to hyper focus in on to make sure that this build is going to be good. That being weak spot damage, reload speed, and aim speed. And right now we are getting huge buffers to aim speed and weak spot damage. Number 11 is going to be Silver Bullets, which is going to give us plus 10% bullet damage and plus 15% effective bullet range. Now, like I was saying when I was talking about line them up earlier, I mean, that extra effective bullet range is going to make it so we can one-tap, you know, some things from slightly further away, and when you add Silver Bullets into the mix, we are going to be getting a combined 25% effective bullet range, meaning our bullets are going to shoot 1/4 farther, and it's going to make keeping all of those pesky Special Infected away just that much easier. Now, number 12 is going to be Wide Mouth Magwell, which gives us plus 30% reload speed and minus 5% damage resistance as the downside. Now, this card, it really is just a continuation of like what I was talking about earlier, just giving us huge buffers to like the categories that actually matter. But the reason that this card is, you know, kind of not grouped up with these and is even a card lower than Silver Bullets is because I do feel like reload speed is the least important of them. Like, I do think, you know, we need to have reload speed with the ability to just melee while reloading our guns, which still gives us the ability to not get hit even though we're reloading. Like, that just makes it so reload speed isn't particularly necessary. Like, it's super nice, and I mean, playing like that kind of limits, you know, so you can't sprint everywhere, but it makes it so we don't have to, you know, rely on a card like Widemouth Magwell and have to put it like even further up into the deck. Now, number 13 is going to be large caliber rounds, which is going to give us plus 7.5% bullet damage and plus 200% bullet penetration. Now, this is in here because of the bullet penetration. Like I was saying earlier, without bullet penetration, I mean, the commons are just going to stonewall everything we do, and we're just going to be trading 1 for 1, and that's a really bad rate in this game. Like, you can't afford to do that. You need to be able to kill more than one thing with more than one shot, especially when you have a sniper rifle that shoots 1 bullet at a time. Number 14 is going to be shooting gloves, which gives us 25% weapon swap speed, 15% recoil control, and 15% accuracy. Now, the whole reason that this card is in the deck is A, because of its weapon swap speed, and B, because it kind of just rounds off everything. It's going to give us that extra recoil control and extra accuracy just to make, you know, everything go just that much smoother. And I mean, once we get this weapon swap speed in, we are going to be swapping our weapons essentially instantly, and it's just really gonna, you know, take the build over the top once we equipped it. Now, number 15 is going to be stock pouch, which gives us plus 30% sniper ammo capacity and plus 10% base damage with all of our sniper rifles. Now, this card keeps it simple and to the point, just gives us more ammo, more damage. It's exactly what we want, but unfortunately, it is a bit linear. Like, if you compare this to a card like Cold Brew Coffee, like, this card just clearly seems outdated, obsolete, but it's not bad. Just because it's not a complete nutty all-star like something like Line 'em Up, Cold Brew, like, that doesn't mean it's a bad card. It just means it has to go a little later into the deck. Well, that's going to do it for the video, guys. Make sure to leave a comment down below telling me any deck changes that you guys would make, and as always, if you happen to enjoy the video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to my channel for more awesome Back 4 Blood content just like this. Also, make sure to check out the link to my Discord server. It's going to be down in the description below. You guys can use it to find teammates to play Back 4 Blood with, so if you guys are in some dire need of teammates, make sure to come check out the Discord server. And until next time, it's been Red, and I'll see you guys in the next video.